everyone. Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to another episode of the Back of the Pack podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Walker. My pleasure as always. We are joined this week by a very special guest, someone that many of you know, and if you don't, you're going to meet her soon. Trust me. She's going to find you at a race and she's going to chase you down and she's going to make you cross the finish line because that's what she does. She is runner and pacer and ambassador, Amy. Hello, Amy. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kyle.
So, again, I really think most of the people who listen probably know you, and you probably have gotten about 90% of the listeners to this podcast just from your references. So thank you for that, as you are like the ambassador with the mostest out there. So I wanted to start because you tell everyone about this show, and I'm so thankful that you do. What is it about the podcast that you enjoy sharing with people?
Well, I came about it probably, I don't know, last spring, late spring, and I was really inspired and intrigued, especially because I felt like, wow, someone gets me. You don't have to be fast. And so, I don't know, I just started listening to it and thinking about my journey. And then fast forward to September at the Plaza 10K, I met Kyle and actually got to pace him. And so then it became even more like personal, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so then we became friends over time. Then he asked me to be an ambassador. And so it just kind of all like went different ways. And so I don't know. And I didn't realize I put it out there this much, but I honestly, when I do, I honestly sincerely put it out there. I don't just, say it. I have personal feelings to it. So that's why I highly recommend it.
Well, and I thank you, of course, as I always do. But yeah, I have so many people send me messages or talk to me and say, oh, yeah, Amy told me about the podcast, or Amy told me to come talk to you, whatever the case is. So that's really cool. And we really do appreciate it. And you said in your statement there that you do have a journey, just like a lot of people who have come to running. I have my journey well documented. We've gone over it before. So please share with us your journey, the parts of it that you want to share with everyone, and just kind of let us know what it is that brought you to this crazy, wacky world of running for fun when no one's chasing us.
Okay, so I'll try to make it short and sweet.
We've got 30 minutes to fill. You're good.
Well, since I was a little girl, I struggled with obesity, depression, anxiety, all that kind of stuff. My dad died when he was my age, 48, from coronary artery disease. So I continued as a teen to still binge eat and do all that kind of stuff to my body. And so the thought of walking was just atrocious. I was made fun of, bullied, all that kind of stuff. But then as I got older and went to college, finally finished college, then, became a real adult. I don't know, after having my son, when he was 2, I wanted to run a 5K. And so from there was like a big deal. And then the 10K was even more of a big deal. And then I was starting to make healthier choices, and my habits were better. And then I met a group of people. I took a chance and went on a group run. And then fast forward, it's 10 years later now that I've been in the running world. I can't believe it, but I've done God knows how many races, but out of the big ones, 3 fulls and a 50K and probably close to 40 halves. And I just found that people get me and I get them. And it's really not about them. And it's about it's us individually, but knowing that there's other people that can be there to support you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, I found out firsthand at the Plaza 10K as you were a pacer and found me, and we talked, but that's a 6-mile race. We talked for 4.5, 5 miles of it, just as we were running along. Yeah. What is it? Our buddy Sarah says about you? You've never met a stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. Amy knows someone everywhere she goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much. So what is it? So relate this journey you're on and how you like being with people. How did that translate into getting into pacing? What made you decide to go that route?
Well, and even between the pacing, I met Sarah through Instagram initially and then real life because of Instagram and running. But then I was inspired by her triathlons. So I took a chance and did 6 or 7 of them. And then someone said to me in one of my running groups or circles that I run with, you should really pace races. And I thought, I can't do that. There's no way. I'm not good enough or whatever. And the more I thought about it, I was like, well, I could try it. And so I reached out to the person that, I needed to reach out to. And I tried it, and it's hard. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
You have to run at least 30 minutes slower than your normal for a half marathon or a marathon. And that's hard. And then you are not about you are about helping others, which is awesome. But where I'm in the back of the pack, so to speak, pacing, sometimes I'm out there by myself, and I still have to keep going. If it's a 2:55, you got to go 2:50. Like, I have to come in that time. And so with that, like, I don't know. I just learned that I really, really enjoy it. I love helping other people, and then them helping me at the same time. So I don't know how many pacing gigs I've done so far, but as long as my knee allows, I want to keep doing it because it's fun, and it's rewarding to come through that finish line and know that, whether they take your help or not, or you feel that they took it, you really did. Like, they see your pacing stick, they know, like, I've had people ask me, is that the time you're pacing? I don't know if I can stick with you, but I'm going to try. And so the goal is to get them through the finish line. That's really, like, all of my, so far up to now, like, my journey. I never believed in myself that I could even, like, do a 5K. And it's not about running. It's about the mental component first. If you can't get it in your mental state, like, get that in check, then other things don't come together. But on the flip side, when you do, you ran Boston. I'm sure that was hard as hell, but you can, like, it's all, I don't want to say it's all mental, but, like, that's what takes you the most of it, I would say. I just did Running with the Cows, and I have another half marathon to pace, the Rock Island Trail. I'm going to pace that one, God willing. And so that's my plan. Do you want me to talk about the Running with the Cows?
Oh, yeah. I was going to lead into that. Look at you beating me to the punch on that one.
Okay.
So again, according to social media, the Book of Faces, you had an experience at Running with the Cows, which again was just a week ago. You were pacing 2:55, if memory serves.
Yes, that's
okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So tell us what happened at Running with the Cows.
So rewind like a couple of weeks before that, I paced the trolley run, which is a 4-miler. And I was, as you know, Kyle, I don't shut up. I'm a talker. And I warned you at the Plaza 10K. I warned the lady, the older woman next to me at the trolley run, as she put both earbuds in her ears when I said that I talk. That was really, really hard because I did the 52-minute 4-miler, and, like, I was in silence. There was nobody to talk to. And I know it was just 4 miles. It was a beautiful day, great weather, but it was hard. And I was like, how am I going to do this? But I had 3 people come up to me, 2 on the run and 1 after, tell me, how amazing I was, how helpful I was or whatnot. And that right there was it's touching, right? Well, fast forward to Running with the Cows. I started with another 2:55 pacer, and for the first 5 miles, and she was doing 30-30. So 30 seconds on, walk, or run, and then walk. Well, my knee doesn't do well. So by the 5th mile, I had to tell her, like, we got to figure something out because this is hurting really bad. And so we made our plan, and then I felt a little bit better, but I still felt like I'm not helping anyone. I'm saying, way to go to everyone, but I'm still, like, I'm not doing anything. Well, then we're like, probably, I don't know, close to like mile 11 or whatever. And this guy comes up to me and looks at my stick and says, I hope I can stay with you. And I said, I don't see why not, as he had a Rock the Parkway shirt on.
Right.
And he said, I just did the 39.3 series. I got sick in between. I came here late today. And I said, we got this. I'm not feeling great myself. We'll pull through together. And I was struggling. And so we kept going. I had to slow down to keep up with my pace. And then I helped him. He helped me. And as we came through, as you know, you come up on a hill, a little hill, not terrible, but a hill on Running with the Cows at the end. I, like, screamed out loud. And that's why I keep doing this. That's why I keep coming back, because it's such an adrenaline feeling, typically in general, but also that knowing that I helped someone. And he was, like, breathless and just took off. So he didn't say anything, but it was great. And so that race was, as you know, it's always like the hottest May day of the year.
Yep.
They they changed the course, which in a way it was good, but there was 3 out and backs. The last one was like, I'm not kidding, almost 3 miles out and then 3 miles back, or maybe 2.5 miles out. I don't know. I can't remember. And so I had the goosebumps. I didn't feel good. People were not feeling good. And so it was hard. And I knew it was going to be hard, but like knowing that I came through okay and I helped somebody, that right there is a game changer. And so again, that's why I want to keep doing this as long as I can, because not only am I helping others, I'm really helping myself. Like it's helping me realize how far I've come, how, you don't just stop. You keep on the journey, whatever your journey may be. You ebb and flow, but I refuse to give up. I always say we don't come this far to come this far. And so whatever the journey is, mine happens to be, I run for my mental health. I run for my physical health. Like I run for a lot of things, and knowing that I have come this far and that, other people are encouraged by that and want my help, that there's no reason why I should stop unless I can't. So
right. The physical toll it takes is definitely a thing. And yeah, if you can't run, you can't run.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think more often than not, whenever I see you out pacing, there's always people with you. They're usually grinning from ear to ear. And yes, I've experienced this firsthand.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you are definitely a talker as a pacer, which is great. Like you saved my rump at Plaza 10K because I wasn't feeling it. I had done a 5K the day before. And so I was trying to do that 10K that day. And yeah, I wasn't there, but we chit-chatted the whole time. And I honestly don't remember much of that race because we were just shooting the breeze.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know at the very end, I was just, a hair slower than you and you had to move on. But, that was with the finish line in sight. So
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad of a thing. But yeah,
Right.
So take a guess, though. You said you've done about 40 half marathons. How many of those do you think you've paced?
Oh,
I know I'm pulling this out of the hat here.
well, not that many. So 2, 3. I think I've only done 3, to be honest, because of my knee. I had to back out the Bill Snyder one year, and I had to back out of the Hospital Hill. And then I've done, 3 or 4.
But you've paced other distances as well, right?
Yeah, the 4 milers.
Okay.
Never a full, obviously. I really don't think I have the desire because that is beyond. I mean, maybe I'll run another full in the future, but as far as trying to keep people going,
yeah,
I got about keeping myself going. So
right. Yeah, no, I think pacing a full would be darn near impossible.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like any fun to me. But of all the races you paced, whatever distance, how many times do you think you've really finished alone? Or how many times have you, compared to that, how many times have you actually gotten people across the finish line?
Well, never did I finish alone. As a matter of fact, the first one was the Kansas half in Lawrence. Mm-hmm. And I was like legit out there almost the entire race by myself. And that was my first one. So I'm always nervous when it comes to any type of race, whether I'm running at my own or I'm pacing. I think pacing, I get more nervous, but I remember I was so frustrated because I was all by myself and I'm like, there's no way. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then there was a mother-daughter and the daughter was struggling. And I remember grabbing her arm towards the end and I'm like, you're going to get through this. And so she did. The Rock Island, that was their first year that they did it. So 3 summers ago, I did that one and I came in with a group. Oh, I did Longview half. I paced that one. And I actually was too far ahead. So I had to go back and turn around and come back because I was going too fast. So I did that one. And then I did the cows last week. And then I'm going to hit the Rock Island again. But the other thing too is when you pace, they're very picky. The pace director, if you will, is very picky about coming in when you're supposed to come in. And I understand it. Like I totally get, like there's a reason why you're leading these people. I mean, at one time I came in like a minute and 5 seconds early for I think it was the Plaza 10K, not this past year, but the year before. And I was nervous that I wouldn't be asked back because, but you don't want to come in too. He says it's better to come in like a minute late as opposed to a minute early. I get it. I don't get it. I'm kind of mixed emotion on it. Sure. So I think we're going on for the halves. Maybe we're going to go on number 5 that by July that I have done pacing for half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious on kind of the impact that you have as a pacer and just how every time I'm pretty sure you're getting people across at every single race, even if
Yeah.
they may not finish with you step for step, like I
Mhm.
didn't.
Mhm.
Still my time would have been way worse if I wasn't keeping up with you the time we were running together.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it helps, like whether it's me or somebody else, even when I run my own, I try to look at the pacers in sight just to kind of like gauge. Sometimes I stay the whole time with them, sometimes I don't. But I think it's good to have that because, it's encouraging, but also like if there's an emergency or whatever the case may be, it's good to
Mhm.
have that. Like when I did Des Moines, I definitely was like, I was like, there's no way I'm going to get behind this guy. So I think it does help to have one.
Yeah. So tell us about your full marathons. You said you've done three of them.
Hmm.
I'm now curious on what three those are.
Okay, well, the first one was the Garmin Full, and I want to say that was when they used to have it up at Healthridge, which is now Genesis. So 2017, I think.
So are we talking the Garmin Land of Oz
Yeah,
marathon?
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, not the Garmin Kansas City marathon.
no, the one in Olathe.
Okay.
So I did that, and I started too fast, and I got it like I don't know, like mile 15. I was starting to feel like out of it. By mile 19, I was like toast, and I actually started to faint coming through the finish line. So it was kind of scary. And then when I got myself together and back, sugar in me and all that, I went home and signed up for the Kansas City Full. that because I was so mad.
Yeah.
I trained on that trail, like that course. Like I was like, I'm ready for this. I was like, I need a redemption. So I did Kansas City Full because I figured, well, I've done the half portion
Mhm.
multiple times. So I know how to get around half of it. And that one was a PR. And that one I came flying through the finish line of Pride. So that was cool. And then I also did the Twin Cities, what do you call it? Can't even remember the name of it, but the one in Minnesota, Metrodome. I can't even remember.
Yeah, sure.
And that was incredible. I had won an entry to a Kansas City race, and I didn't want to use it for Kansas City.
Hmm.
So they said, well, we'll give you $100 to whatever races.
Oh,
And
nice.
I did it, and it was by far for my full, my most favorite. And then I did my 50K in Ottawa during, I think it was March of 2021. I was working from home and I got to train a lot. And so that was a whole different experience. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So what possessed you to go do a 50K? What, a full
So,
marathon just wasn't hard enough?
well, just like, when I first did the 10K was a big deal. And then people would say, you got to do a half marathon. Oh, no, says me. I could never do that. And then I did it. And you got to try for a full. No, I can't. There's no way. I'm not good enough. And I did three. And then a friend of mine was or is an ultra marathoner. And she's like, Amy, they're so low key. Like they have these aid stations. Like you're good. You don't, there's fast runners, but you don't have to, you have like, I don't know, 8.5 or 9 hours. Like you don't have to worry about it, or 12 hours maybe. It's so chill and it's flat and it's on a paved, like a really nice trail. So I was like, well, what is it, another 10K or whatever from a full?
Yeah, I think so.
And so I did it. And other than having dehydration and cramping up and my toes literally like curling, I honestly, like once I got over that and coming through the finish line, I'm like, I would probably do another 50K on a trail like that first before I do a full marathon, because she's right. It was like so much more support. You saw every walk and run of life there. Like people were walking it, people were running it. I mean, it was just, people were biking. I mean, it was incredible. And definitely, I'm not used to all that food and fuel stations. It's a whole other beast. Like, it's not like, here's some Gatorade. It's like, do you want chili? Do you want, they have all the, like a smorgasbord of food.
Oh, geez.
Which I can't even do that after I run a half marathon. Like running with the cows, I barely could eat. But yeah, so that's what got me into that. And I also figured too, you've done the fulls, you've done 6 or 7 triathlons. Well, at that time, 6. But I mean, just try something different. Like you already know how to run. So like get it in your bucket list. And so I don't know. I'd like to someday do another one, but it just really depends on how my body takes it. We'll have to see.
You think you'd go do the same one, or are you going to look for a different one?
I really don't enjoy repeating a lot of races in general, but I had a good experience. It would be nice to find something elsewhere, but if I decided on doing one again, I would know what to expect. So it's a possibility I could do that one again.
And we do tend to repeat races a little bit around this area.
Well, because we don't have a lot of options when it all said and done.
Yeah, especially not for a 50K.
No.
See, maybe the Garmin Kansas City Marathon needs to add a 50K to it.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do a road race of a 50K. I don't know.
I think it would be brutal, especially that race with how hilly it is around downtown. I think it would be miserable.
Yeah.
It'd definitely be a challenge. So let's switch gears, and I'm going to both blame you and your buddy Sarah on this one. Triathlons. How'd you get into that nonsense now that I'm being drugged, kicking and screaming into this world?
And you're tempting me to do Shawnee Mission again. I don't know.
Yep, sure am.
Like I said, I mean, I feel like her and I met on Instagram before I even thought about the triathlon. I know I have another friend that I met on Instagram that is a triathlete, and she was encouraging. But then Sarah and I, like when we met in real life, I remember we met for like when I told her I was going to do one, I did Win for KC, which was all women.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not having it this coming year, which makes me so mad. But she was doing it too. And so we, quote, trained together, partially. And so that was really, really cool. And then once I did that one, we talked about other ones. And I think she was also one of them that encouraged me to do Shawnee Mission. I can't remember. I know the one in, what's the other one? Kill Creek. She encouraged, it was all women at the time. She encouraged me to do that one. So, and I was so inspired by her. I was like, that's so cool. Now I will tell you, as you know, I am not a swimmer, but she is. And so that's still, it was very frustrating to me because I don't think she understands how hard it is for me. But yeah, the thing about the triathlon is you're doing multi-sports. So I feel like for me personally, like my body does better. You're not just like run. You're doing different things, and the way you train is so different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's as much as I hate the swimming, like with a passion, it's the first sport. So I tell myself, like, worst thing, 15 minutes of your life, and then you can go do what you love, which is the biking and the running.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So yeah, I haven't decided which one. I'm doing one this summer, but when I did one last summer and was the last swimmer, I have to figure out which one I want to do that I don't feel defeated again.
What was the distance of swim that you normally do?
So I did the 500 meter. So it was 500-meter swim. And then bike was, because it's the sprint triathlon.
The sprint.
Bike was like typically what, 10 or 11 miles, depending on the course.
Yeah, something there.
And then you run the 5K, but you figure like, oh, it's just a 5K, but your legs are kind of jello. So
yeah, I'm definitely a little worried about it myself. I went for my first bike ride yesterday, and I only did 4 miles, and I wasn't dying, and I didn't crash, thankfully. But then I went and did a 2-mile run after it. It was amazing how different my legs felt. Just from when I normally go out for a run to when I'm going out for a run after doing the bike. So yeah, there's still a lot more training to do in my future before the Shawnee Mission triathlon.
Oh, well, but you got time. A
little bit, I think that, but it's July 9th, and we're sitting here on May 21st. So yeah, I got a month and a few weeks. And that's about it. So that's same amount of time that you have if you want to get signed up for it.
I thought about the relay. I thought about the duathlon, but then I'm like, if I do the duathlon, I might as well just do the triathlon. So
yeah, I don't know about doing a duathlon. Why just do 2 when you could do 3? And then just feel far more accomplished about it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you think of triathlon medals? Are they worth it? Are they as neat as running medals?
I mean, I'm not all a medal bling girl.
I'm a bling girl.
And I really am like disappointed about a lot of the race shirts that we get nowadays.
But shots fired.
I would say I'm looking at my 3 medal racks. I mean, they're okay. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because I just,
They're like just okay. I'm going to risk drowning for just an okay medal.
I mean, you're not going to drown.
I don't know if I approve of this.
you have kayaks to hold on to if you need to. So you're.
Can I just use the kayak from the start? I think that would be great.
I mean, if you have to, yeah, just keep swimming. That's all I tell myself.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I had to just write Dory on the side of my head as I'm swimming along. Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
So what's coming up next in your running schedule? You got a lot of races on the horizon. People need to come out and run with you. Everyone needs to experience running a race with Amy at least once in their career.
So I had the opportunity to pace Bill Snyder like last minute, and I'm on the cusp. But I was like, maybe I should, but if I want to pace in July, I think it's better that I don't. So my friend is I've never been to Manhattan, so we're gonna drive out there and just do the 5K. I shouldn't say just. We're going to do the 5K and just do it like have a girls' night, and then Hospital Hill. That beast. I don't even know how many times I did the half, but I kind of was over it, and then I learned about the jacket we're supposed to get.
There you go.
I was like, well, can you do that for the 10K? And they said yes. And I said, all right, well, sign me up. Like, I'm just doing the 10K. But the 10K is hard. It's not easy.
No, so, nothing around Hospital Hill is easy.
Well, it's always the hottest day in June. Yep. And I don't want to be a negative Nelly, but I'm being real. That race is a beast. So I'm doing the 10K, and then I have a couple of 5Ks, like the Sunglass 5K and probably the Stars and Stripes. And then I'm supposed to pace the 4 on the 4th, which is the 4 miler at Ward Parkway on 4th of July. And then Rock Island in July. And then, somewhere, whatever my triathlon, I have to figure that out. I got to get on the bike and start doing that. And then in the fall, I had signed up for that $5 Salina, was it Crossroads half marathon?
For $5?
Yeah, I can send you the code. It was only $5.
Oh, I missed that email. Huh.
Like November 5th or so. I thought, well, worst comes to worst, you just do it virtual or you lose $5.
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of like for my summer. And then depending on how, as I always say, how my body allows, where it takes me, I would love to do a racecation somewhere, either later on the fall or next spring.
Where are you going to be on September 17th?
Oh, forgot. The 10K hustle run.
There you go.
And I had to make special arrangements because my mom's in town that weekend and she's leaving that morning. And I was like, well, I have a race. So she goes really early to the airport. So I said, I'll have time to drop you off, but I have to be at this race. I have to participate. So I will be there and I'll probably pace the Plaza 10K again. And then whatever in that series, whatever the third race is, I'll probably do that one too.
Number 3 is still TBD. Nothing out there yet. So I don't know what that's going to look like.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure they'll pull it together. The Heartland series is a big one, but yeah, see, now you can come run with Amy September 17th at the KC Hustle Run, brought to you by the Back of the Pack podcast. Selfless plug. Everyone sign up. Make sure you're there. Run the race. Go team.
I'm so excited for that one.
I am too.
And it actually, it's personal. It hits home. So that's really, really cool.
Yep. And see, now everyone's got a chance to come out and run with you. So that works out great.
Yep.
Awesome.
Maybe I'll pace Kansas City half. We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
I did just sign up for the Kansas City half in October. So
good.
If you pace it, maybe I'll run with you.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. That way at least we'll get across. I did not have a great race last time I ran the KC half. But I'm hoping, like you said, I'm hoping for a little bit of a redemption tour on that particular race.
Yeah. Well, as you know, not every race no race is the same. It's all a journey. And, when I wanted to add too that in the running and the mental health and all that kind of stuff, when we get sidelined due to injury or whatever things that happen, it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's so hard. And running is my saving grace. And it gets so, I don't even know how else to say it besides frustrating. Can't do what I love because it's helped me and it continues to help me. It doesn't take away my problems because, God only knows, but it helps. I don't know, it's not a fix, but it helps me realize where I am and kind of helps me also where I need to be, whatever's on my mind or whatever. So, I look back, like I said before, and I'm just in awe, and I'm not bragging. I'm just in awe how far I've come. Like I can't believe that where I am today. And I don't want to say it's all because of running. Something in my mind clicked, and I wanted a change. And we're in what, Mental Health Awareness Month this month.
Indeed, yes, we are.
So, I always am fighting the mental health awareness road, but like my dad had died May 31st. So this month is always hard for me. Mm-hmm. And so I make it even more of a point to take care of me first so I can help others, whether it's, my family, my friends. I mean, there's only so much I can do, but I just losing a parent so young and, suffering from some of the stuff I've been through. Like I don't, if I can avoid some of that, I try to.
For sure.
So,
well, perfect. Again, we put your schedule out there. Everyone needs to come run with Amy when she's pacing. It's worth it. And then again, on behalf of producer Katie and myself, of course, we thank you for being ambassador for the show and telling people about it. And I love it. It makes me laugh every time that someone's like, oh yeah, Amy told me about the show. I'm like, yeah, she did.
Well, when you mention it on some of the podcasts, I'm not gonna lie, I do have like a glowing smile and I do tear every time because I'm like, me? No, they didn't say that.
Yes, they did.
Yes, I ask Sarah every time I see her, or I'll text her right away and be like, is that really true? Or is that just like words? And she's like, no. He did. Like, it's true. And so I even asked a friend, because I'm trying to encourage her into the podcast. And she's like, yeah, I went right over to the booth at for Liberty, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you didn't. She's like, yes, I did. So, and she says, people talk about you. And I said, in a good way? She's like, yeah. So
yes, in a good way.
It does. It makes me happy cry. When I go on my solo runs or walks, and I'm a little I think I'm one episode behind because I know. I'm between, I listen to you and then there's another podcast that I'm way behind. But when I listen to you, especially yours, or I just like.
This is ours.
I was going to say ours.
Ours.
I'll start tearing up, and then like I have to catch my breath because I'm trying to run or even just walk, whatever it is. And I'm like, it's just very touching. And I totally like some of the episodes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I relate to this. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
no, for sure. Well, see, and I have to give our buddy Christina a hard time. She still got me at the John Brown half marathon in February. It was an out and back. And so she was on her way back and I was still heading out before the turn. And she yelled at me when she saw me. She pointed to her ears and she goes, I'm listening to you.
Oh, that's awesome.
It started making me crack up. And then, I lost my breath as I was trying to run along. So
that's so cool. Yeah.
That cracked me up. But we love Christina and the folks from Rexy Run. Shout out Rexy Run in August. Hey, you should do Rexy Run.
Yes, I'm doing that one also. But like last summer, because last summer was my first summer that I did it, I am not doing the 10K.
It's now an 8K.
Oh, an 8K. Because last year was good, but I know that race is always really hot too. And so that's why I'm like, stick with the 5K. You can do 3.1. You're fine. Because that race is very touching. I cried on that race last year. Big
Absolutely. Time. Yeah. Rexy Run will get you, which is why everyone needs to go sign up for Rexy Run. They didn't even pay for a plug in this episode. Not that they ever do, because they don't have to, because we love them. But yes, Rexy Run in August. People need to go sign up for that as well. And I know I'll be out there. Now it sounds like Amy will be out there, and hopefully we can get some more of our peoples, our run friends out there.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know that it's a weekend evening. You probably have to go start getting ready for school and all this other stuff, but
2 days left.
There you go. You are almost on summer vacation.
Oh, can't wait. Yes.
In case you guys didn't figure that out, she's a teacher.
Oh my gosh. I'm ready.
Yep, I'll bet. So, well, Amy, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it so much. And thank you for everything you do for the podcast. And every time people come and name drop you, I'm going to continue to mention it on the show. And now you know that I am not full of it. They really are name dropping you because you tell people about the podcast and you are awesome. All right. So you're gonna believe us next time?
I will. Thank you.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, thank you everyone for joining us for this episode. I'm so glad you guys finally got to meet Ambassador Amy, who is awesome. Get out there and run with her as soon as humanly possible. We will be back next week. I know it's Memorial Day weekend, so I'm going to review the Bill Snyder half marathon out in Manhattan, because I'll be out there for that. And then we might talk to Will a little bit about the Casey Hustle Run. We're going to keep it a short episode. It's a holiday weekend. So my name is Kyle Walker. It is my pleasure as always. This show is brought to you by OKKC Sports and produced by Katie O'Neill. We'll be back next weekend with that. Until then, stay safe. It's getting warmer. Have a good week of training, and we'll see you next week.